Let me ask you something. What would happen if you stopped making excuses and committed to action today? Really think about it. What would happen if you stopped waiting for the perfect time, stopped waiting for everything to align, and just took that first step right now? In the next 30 days, you have a choice. You can either stay stuck, trapped in the same cycle, the same routines, the same struggles you've been facing for years, or you can step into the life you've always dreamed of. The choice is yours. It's not someone else's. It's not your circumstances. It's not the economy or your job or your friends. It's you. The power to change is in your hands. But here's the truth. Change doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't come with a wave of a magic wand. No, change comes when you make a decision. A decision to step up, to take responsibility, to do what it takes. And that decision, it can happen today. In fact, it must happen today. Because the difference between the life you have right now and the life you want is not time, it's the decision to begin. I remember being lost, overwhelmed, unsure of myself. I was stuck, just like you might feel right now. But here's what I did. I made a decision. It was simple, just a single moment where I said, enough. But it was also one of the most powerful moments of my life because that decision changed everything. That decision was the first step toward the person I am today. And here's the most important thing I want you to hear. I'm not just here to talk about change. I'm here to show you that it's possible. What I've gone through, what I've overcome, what I've learned, it can be your story too. This isn't about some fantasy or wishful thinking. This is about real, actionable change. You don't need to be special. You don't need to be lucky. You just need to decide. So I'm challenging you today. This is your moment. We're not talking about next year or next month. We're talking about right now. You've got 30 days. 30 days. You need to take control. You need to make the commitment today. This journey, the one that will change your life, this journey, the one that will change your life, is simple, but it's not easy. The 30-day challenge is about more than just hoping for change to happen. It's about taking control one step at a time. It's about showing up every single day, even when it's tough, even when you don't feel like it. You will face challenges. You will face doubt. You will question if it's worth it. But here's the kicker. That's where the power lies. The power isn't in doing what's easy. It's in doing what's hard. It's in the consistency. It's in the discipline. That's where transformation happens. So, are you ready? Are you ready to commit to the next 30 days, to take action even when it's uncomfortable? Because I'm here to tell you, you can change everything in the next 30 days, but only if you take action today. Let's go. Then let me tell you something. A single decision can change everything. It might seem like a small thing, a moment that passes quickly, but the reality is that that moment, that split-second decision, is the turning point. Think of it like this. A decision is like a door. There's a whole new world waiting for you on the other side. A world where your dreams become your reality. A world where you grow, thrive, and reach the next level. But here's the thing. The choice to walk through that door is yours. No one can open it for you. No one can force you to step through. That decision is in your hands. Now ask yourself, how many times have you waited for the perfect moment? I know, I've been there too. I've waited for the stars to align, for the right opportunity to present itself, for things to feel just right. But here's the hard truth. The perfect moment doesn't come. You have to create it. You can keep waiting, or you can make the decision to act right now. Right now. What you do today will determine what your tomorrow looks like. It's that simple. But let me tell you something even more powerful. Commitment is what drives change, not motivation. Motivation is a fleeting thing. It's that spark that gets you excited in the beginning. But let me tell you, motivation won't be there when the going gets tough. Motivation will fade when the obstacles come. Motivation will vanish when the excitement dies down and you're left with the hard work, the struggle, the grind. Commitment, on the other hand, is the fire that keeps burning no matter the weather. Commitment is the thing that keeps you going when your motivation has long since left. It's easy to get excited when everything is new and shiny, but the real challenge is sticking with it when the thrill is gone. That's when real change begins. That's when you prove to yourself that you are serious about your growth. It's not about how many times you get excited. It's about how many times you can keep going even when the excitement fades. And let me tell you something. If you want to achieve anything meaningful in life, You have to learn the power of saying no. What are you willing to say no to in order to say yes to your future? This is a question you need to ask yourself every day. You can't have it all. You can't do it all. If you want to get to where you're going, you have to cut out distractions. Cut out the things that aren't serving you. Cut out the people who drain your energy. Cut out the habits that keep you stuck. Your time, your energy, your thoughts, they are the most valuable resources you have. What you consume will determine what you create. If you spend all your time on things that don't matter, if you waste your energy on negativity and distractions, that's what your life will reflect. But when you take control, when you take charge of what you say yes to and what you say no to, you take control of your future. You don't have time to waste. You don't have time to let others decide your path. You decide. So here's my challenge to you. Commit today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is always a lie. Tomorrow is always not yet. If you don't act today, you'll still be in the same place tomorrow. Same struggles, same doubts, same distractions. This is your moment, right now, right here. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what you didn't do last week. What matters is that today, you decide, don't wait. If you're waiting for the right time, it's now. If you're waiting for the right circumstances, they're never going to come. You have everything you need right now. All it takes is a decision, one commitment, and everything changes. Let's make today the day that defines your future. Let's make today the moment you walk through that door to the life you've always dreamed of. It's time. It's your time. Overcoming fear and doubt. Let me tell you something. Fear is not your enemy. It's an indicator, a sign that you're on the edge of something big, a sign that you're stretching beyond what's comfortable, beyond the safe little box you've been living in. Fear shows up when you step outside your comfort zone. But here's the catch. Just because fear shows up doesn't mean you have to give it control. You've been there, haven't you? That moment when you feel your heart race, your palms sweat, and your mind starts spinning with what ifs and I can't do this. We've all been there. It's not easy, but listen to this. Fear isn't trying to stop you, it's just doing its job. Fear is like an alarm bell. Its job is to alert you, to make you aware that something important is happening. But the bell is not meant to stop you, it's meant to get your attention. Think about this. What would happen if you allowed fear to be your fuel instead of your roadblock? Fear only has power when you let it control your actions. If you react to fear by running away, by retreating, you give it power. But if you respond to fear with courage, even if it's just a small step, you take back the control. Fear doesn't get to define your future, you do. Now here's the harsh truth. The lies you tell yourself are often what keeps you trapped in fear. How many times have you said to yourself, I'm not good enough, or I don't have time, or what if I fail? We all have those thoughts, those stories we tell ourselves that keep us stuck. But the truth is, those lies are nothing but smoke and mirrors. They're the barriers we've built to protect ourselves from the discomfort of change. They're not real. They're just comfort zones in disguise. Let me ask you this. How long are you going to let those lies keep you from your true potential? How much longer are you going to let I'm not good enough rule your actions? How many opportunities will you let slip by because of what if I fail? You're capable of so much more than those lies. You've been telling yourself these stories for too long, and it's time to let them go. You see, the only way to overcome fear is to take action in spite of it. It's normal to feel scared. It's normal to feel doubt creeping in. But let me tell you something, if you're not scared, you're not growing. Real growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable. It happens when you push yourself, when you step into the unknown, when you take action even though your heart is pounding in your chest. Think about it like this. Imagine standing at the edge of a freezing lake. You know you need to jump in, but the water's cold and the thought of it makes you want to freeze up. That's fear. The longer you wait, the more it paralyzes you. But the moment you jump, even though it's uncomfortable, even though it's terrifying, something amazing happens. You adjust, your body acclimates, and you realize that the fear you were so afraid of was just the anticipation of growth. Action kills doubt. The moment you take that first step, the doubts start to fade. The momentum of that first move starts to build, and it becomes easier. Doubt doesn't have a chance when you're moving. The more you act, the more confident you become. The more you act, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. Every step you take in the direction of your dreams is a victory over doubt, a victory over fear. I want you to ask yourself right now, what's one small action you can take today that will push you forward? It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be a step in the right direction. Maybe it's making a phone call, sending an email, starting the first draft, that project you've been avoiding. Maybe it's signing up for that class you've been thinking about for weeks. Whatever it is, take that step. Fear will always try to hold you back, but action will always move you forward. Momentum is a powerful thing. Once you start moving, everything shifts. You begin to believe in yourself because you've proven to yourself that you can take the next step. And with each step, the doubts become quieter and the fear becomes less of a threat. So don't let fear hold you back any longer. Take action, even if it's scary, even if it feels uncomfortable, and watch as the doubt fades and the possibilities unfold before you. The importance of consistency. Let me tell you something. Success is built on consistency, not intensity. Too often, we're led to believe that success happens in big, dramatic moments. The grand gestures, the lightning strikes of inspiration, the massive breakthroughs. We see people on top of their game and we think it happened overnight, but that's a lie. Success isn't about one big push. It's about the small, consistent actions you take every single day. Consistency compounds over time. It's the small habits, the decisions you make every day that create the future you want. It's not the flash in the pan efforts. It's not about doing something big once and expecting everything to change. No. Success is about showing up day after day and doing the work even when you don't feel like it. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. You don't need to be flawless, you just need to keep moving forward. Show up every day. That's the secret. The small, simple actions that you take day after day start to compound. It's like money in the bank, depositing a little bit each day. Over time, it adds up. You don't need to change the world all at once. Just stay consistent, even when it feels like nothing is happening. But here's the real truth. Consistency is hard. There will be days when you want to quit. When you're tired, when the results aren't showing up as quickly as you'd like, when it feels easier to just give up. That's the real struggle. You're going to face days when you don't feel like showing up, when the excuses come in thick and the temptation to stop is stronger than your will to keep going. But those days are the test. Those are the moments that will define whether you succeed or not. The days you feel like quitting are the days that really matter. That's where the real change happens. Think about it. How many times have you quit when it got tough? How many times have you thrown in the towel when the road got rocky? And then think about this. What would have happened if you kept going? What if you just showed up for one more day? What if you pushed through the discomfort, through the doubt, through the frustration? If you'd stayed consistent, you'd be further along than you are today. But let's talk about how to make consistency work for you. Because this isn't easy. You can't just expect it to happen magically. You need a strategy. One of the best ways to stay consistent is by setting small, achievable goals each day. Micro goals, if you will. These are the daily wins that keep you moving forward. They don't have to be huge accomplishments. They don't have to be monumental. But every time you hit a small goal, it's like a victory. And with every victory, momentum builds. Think about it like this. Consistency is like building a muscle. It doesn't grow overnight. You don't go to the gym and expect to lift heavy weights after one workout. No, you show up day after day, and over time, those small efforts start to add up. You get stronger, you get better, and eventually, those small efforts compound into something powerful. Your consistency becomes your strength. Here's the deal. You need to celebrate the small wins, even the ones that seem insignificant. The days when you don't feel like doing anything but still get up and move forward. The days when you're tired but you push through anyway. Those are the wins. Every small step you take is progress, and every bit of progress is a victory in itself. Celebrate it. Acknowledge it. Because consistency isn't just about the end result. It's about honoring the journey, step by step. Now let's talk about accountability. Because if you're really going to stay consistent, you can't do it alone. You need someone in your corner, someone who will hold you accountable, someone who will check in when you feel like giving up, someone who will remind you of your goals when the motivation fades. Find someone who will hold you to your commitment. It could be a mentor, a coach, a friend, or a family member. It doesn't matter who, as long as they're there to push you when you want to quit, to remind you why you're doing this when it feels tough. When you have someone to answer to, it's much harder to slack off, to take the easy road. You need that person to help you stay on track, to encourage you when the going gets rough, to help you keep your eyes on the prize when distractions come at you from every angle. If you don't have someone holding you accountable, you're more likely to slip. That's just the truth. Accountability isn't just a nice to have, it's essential to your success. Find your partner in this journey, someone who will challenge you, encourage you, and help you stay on track. Because without accountability, consistency is much harder to maintain. Here's what I want you to do right now. Take a moment to think about who can hold you accountable. Who in your life is going to be that voice when you're tired and tempted to give up? Find that person, tell them your goals, and ask them to hold you to it. Don't wait until tomorrow. Find your accountability partner today. You've got to be consistent. It's the only way to truly make progress. Show up every day. Celebrate the small wins. Push through the tough times. And get someone in your corner to keep you accountable. Consistency is your secret weapon. Use it and watch your dreams come to life. Embracing setbacks and learning from failure, let me tell you something, setbacks are part of the process. I don't care who you are, what your dreams are, or where you come from. If you want to succeed, you will face failure. It's inevitable. But here's the truth you need to accept. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. That's right. Failure isn't something to avoid, it's something to embrace. Because setbacks, they're not the end. They are the stepping stones on the path to success. Every failure, every obstacle, every tough moment you face is a chance to learn, to grow, to improve. Failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. It's the moment you learn what doesn't work. And that knowledge, that experience, becomes the foundation for your success. So many people quit at the first sign of failure. They throw in the towel, they let one setback define them, and they stop pursuing their goals. But that's the easy way out. You have to choose to rise every time you fall. That's how success is built, not through perfection, but through persistence. Let's shift your perspective on failure for a moment. I want you to think about failure as feedback. That's right, every time something doesn't go your way, it's simply telling you what didn't work, what needs to change, what you can do better next time. So many of us see failure as a defeat, but it's not. It's just information. It's a lesson waiting to be learned. Think of failure like a bruise. It might hurt when you first hit it. It might sting and feel uncomfortable. But over time, that bruise heals. And when it heals, you're stronger, more resilient than before. Failure is no different. It might hurt at first, but when you allow yourself to learn from it, when you allow yourself to grow, you come out stronger. You become better equipped for the next challenge. Here's the thing, you will face obstacles. You will face tough times. But resilience is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Resilience is not about avoiding the tough moments. It's about how you rise when you face them. It's about getting back up every time life knocks you down. Failure is going to knock you down, but how quickly you get up, how much you learn from it, that's what will define you. So when you fail, ask yourself this: will you stay down or will you get back up stronger than before? Because it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up. You will fail, you will struggle, but you cannot let that define you. What defines you is your willingness to keep going. It's your ability to stand back up after each fall, to learn from your mistakes, and to keep moving forward. Let me give you a real life example. Think about Thomas Edison, the man who gave us the light bulb. Do you think he invented the light bulb the first time he tried? No. He failed thousands of times, but he didn't see those failures as defeats. He saw them as lessons. He said, I have not failed. I've just found 1,0,0,0,0 ways that won't work. That's the mindset you need. Every failure is just one step closer to your success. Each failure teaches you something new about the process, about yourself, about what works and what doesn't. Here's the real secret to success that no one tells you. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing it, learning from it, and then getting back up. The most successful people didn't get there by being perfect. They didn't get there by avoiding failure. They got there because they failed and kept going. They failed and learned. And then they failed again, but this time they were a little smarter, a little stronger, and they kept moving forward. This is where the magic happens. Success isn't reserved for the perfect or the lucky. Success is for those who don't let failure stop them. Success is for those who have the courage to get back up no matter how many times they fall. If you want to succeed, you must be willing to fail, and more importantly, you must be willing to rise again every single time. So I want to leave you with this. Embrace your setbacks, learn from them, let them teach you. Don't run from failure, chase it down and turn it into your greatest lesson, because failure isn't the end. Failure is the beginning of your next great chapter. Let me tell you something, your 30-day transformation starts right now, right in this moment. You have the power to make a life-altering change. You don't have to wait for the perfect time or some miraculous event to come into your life. It starts with one simple decision, and that decision is in your hands right here, right now. Over the next 30 days, you have the chance to completely reshape your future. It doesn't matter where you are today or what your past looks like. What matters is what you choose to do from this point forward. Are you going to continue with the same habits, the same mindset, the same routine, or are you going to make a decision today that pushes you toward the person you want to become? So I'm going to ask you, what will your 30-day story be? Will it be a story of growth, of action, of change, or will it be a story of staying exactly where you are, letting another month slip by without taking a single step toward your goals? The power to change is in your hands, and it starts right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. The time is now. So ask yourself, what are you willing to do right now to start that transformation? Because the next 30 days are a choice you can make today. Here's the truth, change doesn't happen in big dramatic moments. It happens in small, consistent actions. It happens when you make the decision to do what others won't do. It happens when you choose to act when everyone else is waiting for the perfect moment. That moment, my friend, is right now. The life you want, the one you've been dreaming of, the one you've been imagining, is only 30 days away. But it all starts with one thing, your decision. So I'm challenging you right now, commit to this. Commit to taking action, even if it's small today. One step, one choice. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be the first step. That's all you need to do today. The rest will follow, because 30 days from now, you will either be in the exact same place you are now, still dreaming and wishing, or you'll be looking back at a transformed life, one where you took action, made decisions, and moved forward. It's your choice. Remember, the life you want is waiting for you, but only if you step into it. It starts with your decision today. So what will it be? Will you decide now to take control of your future, or will you let another 30 days go by without doing a thing? The clock is ticking, and the opportunity is here. Will you make it count? The next 30 days can change everything, but only if you decide that today is the day to start. So what's your next step? What will your 30-day transformation look like? It starts now. Let's go.